Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Divine Truth Tarot. I am your intuitive guide, Sarah, and we will be doing a reading today. Set that there. Okay, so I'm excited because we have 3 brand new decks. I received another deck today from our soul sister, Elle. Thank you so much, Elle, for your contribution and gift to the channel. So we have the Love Oracle cards. I've been wanting these for a while. And then I'll be using the Sacred Destiny cards as well as the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle, which I talked about in my video from earlier today. So we have some exciting cards, some exciting decks that we'll be using. And yeah, let's get started. So let's go ahead and start with the love messages because I'm really curious what's going to come up. We'll set our little woof down, our little token woof. He's going to assist us in this reading. Okay, so here are the Love Oracle cards with messages on the back. Now they're challenging to shuffle, so what I'm going to do is just hold them up to my heart. I've already blessed them, and we'll just ask for Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael to please infuse this reading with love and light for the highest intention, highest timeline, highest good of all, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to actually see, they're a little challenging to shuffle because of the shape, which I love the shape. It's a heart shape, as you can see, but they are definitely challenging. So what I'm going to do is just sort of spread them out and just sort of move them around. And what we're going to do, we're just going to get a little messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose. Okay, look how beautiful that looks. So let's go ahead and choose. Let's ask for a message from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. This one's really calling out. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. That's a pretty astounding message considering the messages that have come through and the channelings that have come through the past few days. There's been a lot of tense feelings. There's been a lot of challenges. There's been a lot of heaviness, if you will, regarding these unions, regarding these energies and the counterparts. So I feel like the masculine is just coming through saying, I have a message for you in the 5D, and I want to reassure you that I do love you and I'm thinking of you. So the masculines, your masculine is thinking of you at this very moment, and they want you to know that you are not forgotten. They are not forgotten. They're not lost. They're on their way. It's just that at this current point in time, they are unable to be physically present. And so they want to apologize for that, and they want to make it known that they haven't gone anywhere. And I think that's really what the feminine needs to hear. Another message from the masculines. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. So the masculines are going through some healing, and they're asking the feminines to please hold space for their healing. They're asking you that if you have enough light sort of left over is what I'm hearing. They want you to make sure that you give yourself the light you need and that you give it to others in your life. But if you have anything residual or anything left over, they're asking, could you please send them some healing light because they sure could use it at this time. So let's put those messages over there. I'm actually gonna, there we go, messages. And this is from the feminine to the masculine. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. So the feminine says to the masculine energy, you have to let go of the need for control and you have to accept the way things have gone. I feel like the masculines are holding on to some unforgiveness towards the feminine. They feel like the feminine is the source of their pain and the feminine has done them wrong. The feminine left them. The feminine abandoned them. What they're realizing is it's their own feminine energy that's abandoned them. It's the feminine energy within them. It's not the feminine energy on the outside. So they're learning this lesson, and the feminine just wants to remind the masculine that you have to accept that things had to happen the way that they did. That it awakened both of us, it triggered both of us, and it allowed for healing for both of us to get to the point where we need to get to come into union. So the feminine says, please understand that. So masculine message, feminine messages. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. remember how I've been saying, I feel like the masculines have lost people. People have crossed over. They have lost loved ones to death through COVID. I'm not saying, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying, okay, they have lost loved ones during this time of separation from the feminine and during this time where we've all been sort of quarantined. I'm not saying it's because of COVID, but I'm saying they've lost loved ones during this time of alienation and isolation that we've all been through. And they're also being reminded, when these people are passing and leaving this world, the masculines are being reminded of what really matters. And they're realizing that all the stuff they've accumulated over the years and all the money, and if some of them are very wealthy, millions or billions of dollars in the bank account, $1 million homes, these things don't matter if they feel empty inside. So this is a wake-up call, and this is the feminine energy saying to the masculine, well, I mean, that's all fine and lovely, but doesn't really matter unless you have the love that you desire. You can have the things, but do you have the love? And I think that's really important for the masculines to hear. So for the union energy, we have sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. So this is about the Kundalini energy that's exchanged and that is risen in the both counterparts when they are intimately connected, intimately involved. So if you've been intimately involved with your twin on this level, then just know that this is a deeper level of soul exploration and soul connection, and that this is a sacred act of intimacy, that this is different than other acts that you may have with other partners in the past. It's not casual by any means. So I feel like this is a message specifically saying, if you've ever felt like, and if you know that it's your true twin flame, and if you've ever felt like it was just sex, that this is the message saying it was always so much more than that. It was the way in which your souls bond and the way in which you recognize one another. So just know that, feminines. Now let's get another message for the union energies. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. So we have sexual union and romance. So yeah, this is definitely, this is sort of the temperature in the air at the moment for these connections. It's like bow chicka wow wow, roses and candlelight dinners and talking. And you might be feeling this on the 5D, even if it's not actually happening in the 3D. Just know that these energies are around and they're surrounding these unions. And it's also what you have to look forward to when you do come into that reunion or union energy. Okay, so just know that your counterpart is thinking of you fondly. I mean, these are very fond, intimate, passionate but loving moments that you shared. So they're remembering the love and they're remembering the bond. They're remembering that your souls have bonded at a deeper level, and you can't just forget the other. So I think it's important for twins to remember that you can't just forget the other twin. It's not like you can just say, well, I'm just going to move on. It's not a 3D relationship or connection in the sense that you can just move on from your counterpart. God knows we've all tried, right? If I could just move on, and then you try, and then you just get bombarded with the signs and synchronicity. So the masculines go through the same thing. So the love is being felt at this time, even through the separation. So let's move on to the Sacred Destiny cards. Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. We are going to have a look at these. These have been shuffled, and I'll just bless them. I can't remember if I've blessed this particular deck. Okay, beautiful. So the cards are now blessed, and give them a good couple shuffles here. Let's get some overall energy. Wisdom. So we have wisdom. Wisdom is being gained at this time. So this is a deep exploration. You notice that she's underwater, a deep exploration of the subconscious, of our triggers, of our motivators. Why do we do the things we do? Why do we accept the things we accept? So this is definitely both twins. You know, this is the overarching energy that I asked for. Both twins are really in this energy of wanting to understand this connection deeper. Like, okay, I understand it on a surface level, but what really is this connection? I really feel like our counterparts are going through this wake up where they're researching twin flames, they're watching videos, they're getting readings, they're doing things that we may not have necessarily believed they would ever do in the past. So I really feel like this is an energy that wants to come through really strongly. It's like they can't get enough. They just can't get satiated. They need to know more and more and more. And even if it scares them, they'll drop it, you know, for the time being, and then they'll come back to it. Okay, so let's get... So let's ask, what does the feminine need to heal? You know, we're talking about the journey here. We're talking about the journey to union. So what does the feminine need to heal at this time? The feminine energy. Taking risks. This is very masculine energy, action oriented. So feminines need to take a look at their divine masculine energy inside. You know, we see the eagle here. So, or perhaps that's a hawk, looks more like a hawk, but we see this intensity with which the hawk acknowledges its surroundings. And I see a lot of Mars energy here. So Mars, the co-ruler of Scorpio and the ruler of Aries, I just see this sort of like Phoenix rising from the ashes energy. But yeah, this energy of not being afraid to do something that may cause you pain, because sometimes the pain is worth the risk, you know, and the pain is worth you leaving something behind. The pain is worth your evolution as a soul, the lessons that are being learned, okay, even through the triggers and through the pain. So yeah, the feminine's learning to let go, release, surrender, but not just that, she's learning to balance out the feminine surrendering energy with the masculine energy of taking action. Okay, what do I want to change in my life? How do I want to change that? What else is the feminine learning at this time? Diligence. Yeah, concentration, organization, diligence. You know, I hear due diligence with this. So you're making sure that you have, it's interesting, we have birds for the feminine, 2 cards with birds. So look up winged messengers, look up, you know, in particular, hawk messenger. What is the message for you? And what is hawk delivering at this time, you know, for your soul and your journey specifically, uniquely to you? We have this energy of rising above it all, but seeing the bigger picture, making sure you haven't missed any of the details. So feminines are really, this is very masculine energy still. So feminines, I feel, have switched into the masculine energy, and in large part because the masculine energy in their physical life has sort of disappeared or been MIA for many. And so the feminines are forced to really go within and heal the inner masculine. And they're just, if whatever you're doing, feminines, I'm hearing if you're signing a contract, if there's something important that's coming up for you, if there's a divorce or legal proceedings or a contract on a house or an apartment or a business or something like that, real estate, I'm hearing that you need to be very careful, do your due diligence, make sure you're not doing it unless you have to during Mercury retrograde, which is probably coming up any day now. And what else? I'm hearing a lot will be revealed on the full moon on Halloween. Now, I do want to let you guys know that I will be gathering with 2 other divine feminines in the mountains for Halloween. We'll be there for the large part of a week, and we will be we will be doing a live video at some point. So I'm going to continue to let you know. I'll continue to remind you, because this is going to be very special. They're two very powerful feminines, and we will be, actually, you'll see my face again. We will be on camera at our little cabin, and we will be taking you guys through a sacred rose ceremony. We're called to a special place to do this, and so it's going to be a very powerful time. This full moon that happens on Halloween hasn't happened in 76 years, since 1944. And yeah, 76 years. Everyone around the globe is going to be able to physically see this full moon. So that hasn't happened in 76 years. And a full moon on Halloween hasn't happened for, I believe, 7 or 18 years. So it's been a long time coming, and it's some very, very powerful energy, very potent energy. So we're leading up to this energy, right? So the feminine's really being asked to stay in her due diligence, to stay in that organized mode in order to make sure that things run smoothly as we lead up to that full moon. So I'll be talking a lot about that full moon. I'll be doing at least one video, probably more, leading up to the full moon and what those energies mean. Okay, so let's go ahead and get energies for the masculine. So masculine energy, security. So the masculines are definitely attempting, I shouldn't say attempting, let me rephrase that. The masculines are hard at work on their security. So it's sort of like you see a campfire here, and you see the night sky, and it reminds me of our ancestors gathered around a campfire telling stories and feeling secure and feeling the warmth of the fire and knowing that you have a warm body next to you of your loved ones, your family, your friends, your relatives. So I feel like the ancestors are very close to the masculines right now, and the masculines they're doing a lot of ancestral healing. They're breaking ancestral bonds, and trauma bonds is what I'm hearing. Let me correct that. They're breaking ancestral trauma bonds, and they're healing their heritage. They're healing their lineage. A lot of shadow forces are coming up for the masculines. And so the masculines are, their security has been threatened in the 3D for most of this year. And a lot of the masculines have been forced to go within. So they're looking to find their inner security at this time, while also locating and creating their outer security, which really has been blown away. It's like not only has the foundation caved in, but the roof has actually blown off of their house, their quote unquote house that they've built, the house that was built with sticks, and it was never built with stones. It was never built to last. And so the masculines are searching for security in the darkness. Okay, so let's get another card for the masculines, please. Blessings. So the masculines are being blessed, just like what I thought. So not only are they healing their ancestral line, but they're receiving blessings from their ancestors and from the ascended masters and from their guides, and they're being guided every step of the way. So yes, it looks like they're making their way through the darkness, and that can be scary for them, but also understand that the masculines are really making their way. And you see, this is sort of like the sun card. It represents, all things beautiful, and it represents the promise of spring. So I feel like spring will be a revival for a lot of these masculines if they can just get through winter. I know we have to get through fall first, not get through fall. I love the fall, but we get to go through fall first. But then in the springtime, there's definitely going to be a revival for these masculines in terms of wanting to live, in terms of really, really like, what is life? What is living? Union energy. I can't make this up. Patience. We have the blue heron. Blue heron is this beautiful regal. Just, this bird is elegant. The way she flies, the way she moves, the way she hunts. There's so much elegance about her. If you've ever been face to face with one, or even just seen one from a distance, you'll find her a lot in the South. And look at the freedom with which she flies. She is so patient that she doesn't need to freak out or worry or concern herself with things that are out of her control. She just allows things to take their course, effortlessly gliding through the air. So I feel as though you're both being asked just to have patience as this union comes together, and to trust that things are coming together at the exact time that they're meant to. Even if your human self wants to scream and cry and throw a temper tantrum, Yes, adults can have temper tantrums. I've had many. And so, let's see. Okay, this one. Protection. Wow. Okay. This is really clear. So protection, what is happening? Why do we have to have patience? Why are things being put on hold? If you're wondering why are things being put on hold, you want some answers, go check out my video from earlier today. I talk a lot about that, and I use some brand new decks on there as well. Very exciting to bring you guys new energies with these new decks. Right, so the guides, okay, our guides are saying, our guides on this twin flame journey for the collective are saying very clearly, you're being protected, okay? Rejection is God's protection. So if you're feeling rejected, abandoned, forgotten by your masculine, which very valid feelings at this point, many of us are feeling this way, especially those of us who have been in separation for quite some time, understand that there's protection. I mean, you're being protected from the storm. So it's like you're being sheltered from the storm is what I'm hearing. So understand that your masculine, these storms they're going through, they're raging, they're very angry, they're purging, and they feel like they can't control themselves, and they're afraid that if they reach out, they're going to do something wrong. They're going to push you away for good. They're going to say something or do something. It may even be out of character, and they're not going to be able to take it back. And so you are being protected. Your masculine is protecting the union. They're protecting themselves. They're protecting you. They're protecting everyone involved. So just understand that. I know it's hard to see that from a 3D perspective. I do. I understand. So let's get some more journey energies from my new favorite, the hero's journey. So if you guys haven't studied Joseph Campbell, I studied it in advanced placement English and in high school, and it was really, he's fascinating the way in which he weaves the story together, and it's all about what the hero, the main character, right, the protagonist goes through in order to, it's about the highs and the lows, it's about the obstacles that we overcome, the adversity that we face on the path to getting what we wish, what we want, what we desire, and what we deserve. It can be broken down into a lot of components. So I'm not going to go into that for the sake of time, but you can check that out. He's written several books as well, and he's just a very, very interesting soul. You can learn so much from reading his works and studying his theory. I don't even know if I would call this a theory. I'm not sure what you would call it. Let's see, what does the book say? So this is a quote from him. Follow your bliss and doors will open for you that you never knew existed. Follow your bliss and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls. Just very encouraging, extremely inspiring. He also has said the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Okay, so let us go ahead and we're going to ask about the journey. Let's see, these cards are, when they're new, they can stick together. I'm just going to give them a good shuffle here. I already shuffled and blessed these cards, but I just want to. Okay. So it's the journey, the hero's journey starts with the call, and then you move into the quest, then you receive the reward, and then there's the return, right? You think of Odysseus, the return back home, you know, with the knowledge, with the information, with the changes, whatever has ravished you on that journey, whatever has blessed you on that journey, you return with all of it. And it says return with the elixir. That's the last step. So it's like returning with the magic that the journey promised you in the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to There's a lot to learn about these cards, so I'll keep the book close by. And we are going to... So we asked about the feminines. Let's ask about... What is the gift, blessing, or lesson in the situation that the feminine is in right now? I'm going to be doing personal readings using these two decks. And I'm going to be, I'll start this in November when I have freed up some spaces, some slots for readings. And what I'm going to do is we're going to look into your journey, your personal journey. So it'll be another personal one, just like it was written in the stars reading. Ooh. Well, we have Become the Elixir and Afterglow. So we're asking, what is the gift, blessing, or lesson for the feminine? Wow. Become the Elixir. So this is that last step. This is the coming home, the return of the hero. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. So feminine, you have everything you need, want, desire, could possibly ever attain inside of you. This is very much the energy of saying your glow, your inner glow lights your own path, lights your own way. There's nothing more for the feminine to do. The heavy lifting has been done, or is now being done by the universe. It's like 90% of the work has been done, and now we just get to relish in the gifts. So the gifts are blessing in the situation. Let's take a look at... You've had life-altering experiences, learned libraries worth of knowledge, and are now incalculably wealthy, spiritually and otherwise. It probably feels selfish to keep all this life-affirming wisdom to yourself. If you could, through osmosis, you would transmit the contents of your journey, every experience, trial, and reward to every person you meet. And yet, if you share when uninvited, your gifts will fall upon deaf ears. Honor the wisdom you've learned and earned, while honoring the people in your circle of life by remembering that you are the elixir. This is so potent. Without having to say a word or do a single thing, you are the medicine, blessing and presence that soothes the hearts, mind, and souls of all you meet. You are so steeped in the elixir that you do the work simply by being, beaming, and showing up. The mantra is, the elixir encoded within me is now being contagiously transmitted. There is nothing left for the feminine to do at this point but rest, be yourself, be authentically and unapologetically yourself, and just show up. That's all you have to do, is just show up, wake up, show up, and go out into the world and spread your love and spread your magic. That's all. Now this is the second to last card. So the second to last step of the journey is the afterglow, land gracefully. So let's take a look. So the feminine, I wouldn't be surprised if the masculine has cards that are earlier in the journey. The feminine, I mean, this is saying the feminine is at the end of the journey. Coming home with the elixir after a soul-altering experience requires consciousness, attention, and care. You've been changed, yet the world you're returning to has remained much the same. So this is really speaking in terms of not just the world and the changes that are going on and the people that are still asleep and totally unaware to what's going on, the reality of the situation, the reality, the truth of the pandemic, the truth of why we're being locked in our houses and all of these things, but also the fact that your masculine still seems to be asleep, and your masculine still knows how I say seems to be unawakened to the connection and to the divine, to the gifts that this connection has. And so this is like on two different levels for the feminine, actually 3 different levels, because it's the world, it's your masculine, it's your friends and family. So you still feel like I have all this knowledge now of things that are the workings under the undercurrents, the underbelly of the truth of this matrix that we're living in, and yet you can't just share it openly with everyone. It says, like an airplane coming in for a landing, having sailed over oceans, deserts, and forests. If the pilot brings consciousness to the landing, it can be graceful, even though the craft is hitting solid asphalt. Returning home from a powerful inner and/or outer journey may seem like the time to let go, but this stage takes as much consciousness as the rest. To make your re-entry as smooth as possible, go out of your way to be gentle with yourself as you integrate slowly back to the ordinary world. Mantra is, I am a citizen of both heaven and earth. I soar high and land with grace. So be gentle on yourself, be gentle on others, and there's no need to rush the process. And there's also no need to rush your masculine and rush your counterpart to coming to consciousness. They will arrive when they arrive. You're just asked to bask in the afterglow. You just get to bask in the illumination of your own soul. And that may seem scary. That may seem like too much freedom. And ask yourself why. Why is that? What am I afraid of? So the masculines have attuned to the call, tune in and turn on. They're being asked, and this is step 10 in the journey. So this is part of stage 2, the call to adventure. So the masculines have been ignited. Okay, their soul's been ignited. Again, they're awake, they're aware to what this connection is, and now they're asked to tune in and turn on. A lot of them are sort of refusing to tune in and turn on right now, and it's like, they know that they could tune into that radio station, that frequency, but they're choosing to tune into the lower frequency still. So that's what is going on right now at this particular juncture, this particular filming of this video. Remember, energy is changeable. It's fluid, okay? It's not something this is the energy and this is how it's going to be for a week or for 2 weeks. It can change in an hour, in a minute, in 30 seconds. It can change tomorrow. So at this present time, the masculine is on an adventure. So, if they're quiet, this is definitely a large part of why they're quiet. Okay, what else is going on? What gifts and blessings are the masculines experiencing now? Interesting. Divine discernment. Step back to find clarity. Yeah, they're being asked to step back right now. These are so valid. I knew these were going to be special when I saw them. 13 is a special number also. To me, it signifies this. It's the ability to walk through a portal. It's the ability to see clearly when you can't see what's in front of you. It's the ability to discern your surroundings, your next step, your next choice, your next thought, and to do it with due diligence. And they're not making any rash decisions. Where in the past, the masculines they'd feel something, they'd feel the feminine, they'd have to reach out immediately. They're not doing that now. In fact, one of our soul brothers, he has his own YouTube channel. He actually talked about it. He said, I was in my feminine city. He said, and I kind of wanted to reach out, but then I wasn't called to. Like I was, but I wasn't. He was pulled back. So they're being pulled back and asked to have divine discernment and to not come forward until the timing is right. Now we also have you're in great company for the masculines. Pull back to propel forward. This is so, right? Look, 2 cards about stepping back. I can't make this up, but look at what we see here. We see here, he's pulling back to propel forward. Oh, this is so beautiful. So the masculine is pulling back and is being brought back by the divine so that he can propel forward into the arms of the feminine. But first he knows I have to step back. It's like a boomerang. It's like what I've been talking about, a bow and arrow. You have to, throw it back, shoot it back, right? Reach backwards. And it feels like you're going backwards, so it may feel like your union is going backwards, or I could say the same. We used to be in so much communication. There seemed to be so much movement, but really the movement is happening in the silence and in the stillness. And you have to understand that at a soul level, that's really what's going on. So yeah, they're being asked just step back, masculine, so that you can propel yourself that much further ahead towards union, towards your beloved. I'm going to go ahead and read the book for this one because I think this is really significant. Sorry for the messy cards. I cannot wait to get my card stand. I hope it comes soon. Now, this is stage 3. This is refusal of the call. So resistance. It's talking about resistance. So let's take a look. Those who have made the biggest impact on the planet, in addition to feeling extremely passionate, felt resistance too. Every hero and shiro, I love that, shiro, in history has had moments of self-doubt, even paralyzing fear. So this is what the masculines are experiencing, major, incredible, like engulfing self-doubt and paralyzing fear. It's like they see your messages or they know that they should do something, but they just can't do it right now. before doing the courageous act that became their legacy. This will become their legacy, and they know it matters that much. They know how important this is, that they get it right. This is their legacy, and they know this. Trust me, they know how important this is. If you're masculine, if it wasn't important, they would be reaching out like they used to do in the past. But now they realize the importance, the sacredness of this connection and of their next step. And so they're doing it very, very carefully. They felt the fear, but did what they were called to do anyway. For this reason, you need not be detoured when you bump against uncertainty. In fact, doubt helps us to chisel the ego out of the way, which is key to accomplishing a mission of merit and becoming a channel of grace a higher purpose can move through. Know that you are in great company. And when you get ready, you'll get up and go, like the great ones who came before you. Upon those shoulders you now stand. So a mantra for the masculines, or the masculine energy within you. Like the heroes before me, I feel the doubt and follow through anyway. I mean, this is huge for the masculines to receive this. And no masculines, know, if there are any of you watching, that your ancestors are pushing you on, leading you on. They're embracing you. They're encouraging you. They're right there walking alongside you. They know that you can do this. The feminine knows that you can do this. The divine knows that you can do this. You were born for this, and all it takes is one step forward and one step forward. It's okay that you've been shot backwards like an arrow, because you're going to propel forward. It's okay to have that resistance. It's okay to have those doubts, fears, and insecurities, even if they're crippling at this time, because as soon as you can release those, you're going to be propelled into something so incredible. And that's scary. You know, that's scary in and of itself for the masculines. If I'm propelled into something that much greater, what does that look like? Because they know that they have to leave something or many things behind in order to have that which they desire, that which they've searched for lifetime after lifetime. They know this through their dreams at this time. So they know that they have to let things go, and they just have to release that resistance to receiving everything they've ever wanted. Let's finish up this amazing reading with a union card. So what do we have? We have the return. Own your mastery. Both twins being asked to own their mastery, to own who they are at this time, to own the soul, the great soul that resides in this human body, beyond the borders of the body. Who is the soul that you are? The ageless soul that has lived millions or billions of lifetimes. Most twins have lived millions of lifetimes. Some have lived billions of lifetimes. So you have fought to come together in every lifetime. And some you did, and some you didn't. Some you missed each other. This is a lifetime where you are to come together. This is the return. This is a lifetime of the return to one another, the return to love. So let's take a look in the book here. So now this is the first stage. And, oh no, I see what they did. Okay. Interesting how they organized this book. This is actually a major arcana card. Does it say what it corresponds with though? Because there's only 4 of them. Let me see. It doesn't say. Let's just take a look. Huh. The big cards in the deck, the major arcana, reflect the wisdom, secrets, and mystery of the 4 great transitions you will face along your hero's dream journey. The call, the quest, the reward, and the return. So this is the return. Own your mastery. It's no longer just about you, but about all who will benefit from your story. Remember, this is the twins' destiny. Everyone, humanity that will benefit from our love. Humanity that will benefit from seeing us, watching us, being in our presence when we are together physically with our twin. In your mind's eye, imagine you are delivering a passionate graduation speech to a sea of eager students who are hanging on your every word. That's the collective. Those are the ones who are awakening or who will awaken. We are going to show them this is what love looks like, feels like, and this is what bravery encourages. This is what being a warrior is. This is what it looks like to go after your dreams and to follow your heart. You stand at the podium confidently sharing your story, reflecting upon your hero's journey. You reminisce about lessons and blessings learned and earned along the way. Your words become seeds planted in fertile soil in the minds and hearts of all those who are destined to be changed by your wisdom. This is destiny. At some point, you notice you are no longer telling a story about how you found the elixir, but have embodied it. Between words, when you pause for breath, you continue to radiate a life-affirming message that alchemically alters all who are blessed, Freudian slip, breast, all who are blessed to be in your sphere of influence. Mantra: I've graduated from having a story worth telling to embodying the potency of my story, and it emanates through every cell of my being. You've earned a degree of mastery, and it is high time you own it. So this actually corresponds with this. So feminines had this in their energy, right? The feminines had this. This was their gift. And now we see it in the union energy. So how beautiful is that? So once the masculines really attune to, align to, and balance out their feminine energy, the return home to one another is happening. This is the call. This is, I mean, you can tell it's not, it's a call. It's a divine calling. She's literally being just flown or swept. I don't want to say swept away. She's being swept towards her destiny. And there's nothing that could get in the way of that. And she's the embodiment of truth, the embodiment of the elixir, the embodiment of the medicine. She is the medicine. He is the medicine. You are the medicine. Your union is the medicine for all other souls on this planet. Have a beautiful, blessed day, full of love, full of hope, full of devotion. I'm sending you all so much love. And remember who you are. Many, many abundant blessings, twins. I'll see you soon.